Hello everybody and welcome back to my YouTube channel. So today I will be continuing my Building Newcrest series where we take all of the empty lots on Newcrest and build it into a playable town. So without further ado, subscribe if you enjoy and let's get into the video. Alright, here we go. We are back at it again. And this time we are building a residential home because I didn't know what to call this one. It's kind of contemporary, I guess, looking on the outside. I built this based on a floor plan that I saw on Pinterest. So it takes me a little bit to build the shell because I'm kind of trying to translate real life floor plan into how big the rooms need to be to function in The Sims. So the shape of this house is fairly basic. It's pretty much a square with this fancy little embellishment on the back. And then the upstairs is very similar, except it goes straight back and there is just a little balcony over that area. The front porch is a pretty grand, like, 2-story situation that has very tall columns going up to it, but we'll get there momentarily. The roof, I just went with a pretty basic, like, just a little pitched roof situation. It looked nice, and it is also fairly flat, and the color was kind of already on point for what I was going for, so I believe I just leave it as that. I tried to put a little platform on the patio up there so that I could make it match the wallpaper and everything, but opted to not because of how it was clipping with the roof and just put another little roof on it. Then something was going wrong with it letting me raise up and down this situation, and I eventually figured out that it was that little jut out up there. So I deleted it, raised it up, and then re-added it again to the top of this and popped that little roof back onto it. Added some roof trims and then some nice tall columns. I'm trying to find some white ones that are thick and can be raised up and look nice. I liked those, so that's what we went with. There were only columns on certain parts of the house. So then I just moved to the back. I made that little top patio area covered and put some columns there as well. For the walls, I didn't know exactly what I wanted to go for, but I wanted to keep the same kind of color from the original picture, which was this bricky color with some siding mixed in. So I put the siding on the top floor and on the ground floor, but just in the entry area, and then the rest of it is a beigey colored stone. And for the foundation, I just went with a pretty basic one to kind of go all the way around this whole situation. These stairs I put there for now, and they get swapped out later because I went back and I looked at them a second time and realized that I did not like them at all. But now we're trying to find a door, but also realizing that I didn't lay out floor plan for the inside of the house at all. So the foyer is a fancy 2-story thing, and then I just went up and made those half walls because I found out you can't make them no walls at all, but you do need to have something there. For the front door, I decided to go with something just kind of big. It kind of just needed to be big. And then I was trying to find some windows that fit nicely up there and ended up going with that little situation. Now I'm laying out the floor plan for the rest of the house. It's a decent sized house. And it's got kind of everything you need. It would be good for a family of Sims, extended even. There's quite a few rooms, a lot of space, a lot of room for activities. Then we're just popping a little staircase right up in that corner and adding a half wall to block it off a little bit. And also adding the floor plan upstairs. There are a couple bedrooms up here that is the master suite over there. And then on the other side is, I believe, 2 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms that are right next to each other. Yes, that is what it is. So there is 1 bedroom and the 2 bathrooms and another one. And that little one I just drew was for the closet. Downstairs, there's going to be a nice little laundry room as well. And I decided to find some nice little French doors to go out to the balcony. And I added half walls and matched the siding around on it as well. Lighting up the whole house was kind of the next crucial step to this because, yikes, I couldn't see anything. Now we're trying to find windows that look good in this place, which was definitely interesting. I played around with a couple of ideas and then ended up going with these just big ones. This is where the vibe of the build gets muddled a little bit, but I liked these big windows. They bring in a lot of light. They're very grand. I'm not great at window placement. Maybe on a next build I'll try auto window placement and just see what happens, because I feel like it's just been getting worse and worse with time. Now we're just going through and I'm putting the matching seasons doors to match the front door on the inside of the build. Just kind of in estimated locations. If I needed to move them later, we moved them. And a nice double door for the master suite. Make everything look nice and fancy. Some archways into the main areas. And then we started with the entryway. So I just went through the clutter menu quick and pulled out a couple of the items that I knew I would want to use, or that I thought I knew I wanted to use, like those shoe racks, before I promptly deleted them and just pulled out the individual pairs of shoes from Dream Home Decorator. And now we're trying to find a table to go in this little hallway, and I found one. It looks very cute. Lined up some of the shoes next to each other and put a little rug in there as well. And a plant, of course. You can't have an entry without a plant. I decided to keep that table simple and just put one thing on it, and we kind of went with a light wood thing throughout the entire house. I don't know why, that's just kind of how it happened. And then added a couple little cubbies and some more shoes. Decided to pop a couple clutter items up there as well, just to make it look a tiny bit more realistic. This house is very, I wouldn't call it minimalist, but it is very, like, clean. There's not a ton of busyness going on. Everything that's there kind of makes sense. It looks like it has a place and all that. So I moved on to wallpaper and went with the little green tinted version of the Parenthood wallpaper, and then just grabbed some very light wood flooring and popped it in all of the main rooms. This first area is the kitchen. Trying to find a counter that I liked. Started out as a process, and then I just ended up going with my go-to counters from Jungle Adventure anyways. So I popped those in there. We did not forget a trash can, and we even have a sprinkler system installed. I went back as well and popped a thermostat in there just in case, and gave it this cute little island area, and then moved on to upper cabinets. I think it looks very cute in this kitchen. This house is very homey, even though it is pretty contemporary looking at the same time. But I think it's cool. It's fun. So we put a little bowl of fruit in there to decorate, and then I raised up this plant to put on the counter because I liked it. Thought it was floating, but it wasn't. So I tried to fix it, even though I didn't have to. Hung some little herbs on the wall on one side, and then on this other side decided to go with the good old eggs picture. Very fun, very fitting. This little area outside of the kitchen is a bar. So I popped a little plant back there and then put another painting there that does get moved. If you hear squeaking, I'm so sorry. My dog is playing with a chew toy. But I just switched those paintings so they were in the opposite locations. And then moved on to a nice little table and chairs. It's very clean. It's very simple. But I just really liked how it looked. I'm a simple kind of gal. What can I say? Then I put some plants in those little corners because it looked very empty. And I knew exactly what I was looking for here and was very much struggling to find it. I was looking for one of the china cabinets and stuff, and I found a couple. Wasn't the one I wanted. I wanted the Jungle Adventure one that would match the kitchen and stuff. So after scrolling through for a little bit, I ended up filtering by Jungle Adventure and just going to show all so that I could find it that way. And I did pretty quickly. So we now have that. And on this other blank wall, I just slapped a painting because it just makes the Sims a little happier if things look nice. This first little room over here is a little office area. It's really simple. Not a lot of effort was put into this office, but it did end up looking pretty cute. I ended up going with a nice little blue rug down there and then a chair for the corner. The chair I picked did not match the color of the rug because it's kind of neutral, and then that rug is just like a weird pop of random color in it. And then good old plants for the corners. I forgot to put wallpaper in there, but don't worry. I go back and I put the wallpaper in there. So I thought this was a bedroom at first because I didn't realize that there was a doorway in here. So stay tuned for this bedroom design though, because it does happen, just not yet. It happens in a different bedroom. Any second here. I'm finally gonna put the walls up and be like, hey, why is there a double door? And it's right here. I'm putting that plant and I'm looking and I'm like, well, dang, it's not supposed to be a bedroom. It's actually the living room. So moving back, we're making a living room area. I decided to put the flat screen on the wall, as this isn't the biggest living room in the world. And since I have the walls matching the main area with that greenish tint, I went with a little greeny sofa and then just a pretty neutral couch to go with it. Pop a plant in the corner, grab a coffee table, you know, the standard. Got to get that dream home decorator rug in there somewhere. And then I popped some clutter items on the table. There's some mugs, a notebook, water bottle, glasses, everything a growing Sim needs while they're watching TV. Sized up that little leaf painting, and now we're going back to put wallpaper in the office. I just used the blue version of the same wallpaper since that rug in there is blue. Popped some paintings out there and fixed that wall so that it didn't flip weird. And put railings. Yes, you can see it through the window. No, I don't care. Deal with it. So, bathroom. This one is a little half bath. I kind of went with this similar situation through all of them. All the bathrooms look pretty much the same. I decided on a wallpaper and a floor and then just ran with it for the rest of the build to make my life a little easier, because a lot of the builds near the end of this series are getting pretty big. The grand finale has actually already been filmed. That one was a process. That one took me multiple days to create. So now we're moving on to this little laundry room. I decided to give them a nice blue washer and dryer. Don't know why, was just feeling it. Thought they were fun. Wanted to give something a little pop of color in this house. Put a couple things on the walls, some little decorations, you know. It's very simple. I also forgot to put wallpaper in there, but you know, we get back to that. It's okay. In here, I started just decorating it normal, and then I decided to do the built-in shower looking thing to make it look built in. And then in all of the bathrooms, because of this, I had to add a second light closer to the bathtub so that it wasn't just enveloped in shadow. But one fun thing I did in all of the bathrooms is they each get a different color robe. I don't know why, that's just kind of what happened. But I tried to make the showers look a little nicer than I usually do, even though every bathroom is pretty much a carbon copy of each other. There's not much original about any of them, to the point where in the main ones, like throughout the floors, I didn't even put bath mats. Now that bedroom design from earlier is coming back. In the floor plan, this actually said that it was a grandparent's room. I just made it kind of like a guest. I didn't make it specifically for a grandparent, but like if your Sim's grandparents want to be in this room, that's fine. I don't care. But I just made it kind of like a multi-purpose bedroom. Like any Sim can be in there if they want to. It doesn't really matter. Put a little ottoman at the end of the bed just because there was a lot of room. And then took that little orange theme from the bed and just kind of ran with it with the orange and brown vibes going on. And I liked a simple wallpaper for this room. Felt like it didn't need to be too busy on the wall, and then I paired up 3 of the little tiny home paintings. I wanted to size that up, but the shadows got weird, so then I decided to just keep the same one and make it small. Now, this is another bedroom, still downstairs. So this one's kind of another guest room, or it can be, again, whatever your Sim needs it to be. If you want to completely delete all the stuff in here and just make it like a hobby room, have at it. But it is, for now, another bedroom. I put some magazines on there. I got the big mirror in this room. And then for wallpaper, decided to go simple once again. And then pop some paintings on the walls. Went with 2 of the little pear paintings. And then this little collage for above the bed. And they also needed a rug for under the bed. Now moving up to the second floor. I'm just copying kind of all of the wallpapers and floorings of the main areas from the lower floor onto the top floor. And the first thing I'm doing are these 2 bathrooms, which are literally identical to each other. I, again, did not put much thought into the bathrooms. They're functional. They're bathrooms. What else can I say? I've never been that much of a decorator in The Sims until I started building more. So I don't always decorate my builds that much. I used to just play with the bare essentials in the house. Like, I would never put anything on the walls. There would never be any decorations, just the essentials. But anyways, moving on to the master. I went with that bed at first and then decided I hated it. So while I find a new bed, I'm going to remind you that all of these builds are up on my gallery page at Livy2654 if you want to download them and play with them in your own game and have your Newcrest look the same as mine. So I changed up the vibe, and apparently the vibe ended up being yellow for this room. The master bedroom is yellow. And fun fact, I don't really like yellow. I usually hate it, but I just thought it looked fun in this room. So here we are, yellow master bedroom with tiniest coffee table known to man because I put a sectional in this room as well. This room has a bigger couch than the dang living room. But, you know, here we are. No one said we can't be fancy. They don't get a TV, though. They just get to stare at a bookshelf. They can read and just lounge on that couch. I decided to put a little lamp in the corner as well, and I did not forget that wallpaper exists this time. So I went with the pets wallpaper for this one in yellow, of course. We have a gold accented mirror and then a couple little paintings as well. And I just carried that same wallpaper into what will be the closet. For the master bath, I knew I wanted one of these fancy little corner tubs. And then we also got the toilet, we got the sink. Here's me desperately trying to put the soap in a more ideal location, and I got it close enough, so I called it good enough and just left it there. I put the moon mirror in because that is my favorite thing ever, along with a little clutter, a robe, and then, of course, a shower that I decided to do the little built-in thing to again, except it was just kind of one wall. But it is what it is. And then we have a little bath mat for this room. I think this is the only bathroom that I actually put a bath mat in. I'm sorry. Now moving on to this closet. Thanks to using an actual floor plan, there are always a lot of closets, especially in the bigger homes. There's a lot of walk-in closets that it expects me to build. So the Sims have quite a few walk-in closets in this house. So this is the first one. I just kind of popped up a bunch of the clothes and then changed the swatches so it looks like they were different colors and stuff. I didn't put too much in it and then just popped a vanity there as well with a little yellow chair and then was done with that. Now, this room, I decided to make a toddler room because this is the smallest bedroom, and also in all of the builds I've done for this, I haven't included anything for toddlers yet. And as I am recording this, the new Infants update just came out as well as the Growing Together expansion pack. So in my last few builds that I have to do, stuff for those Sims will also be included throughout using those items, but this was pre-filmed, so I did not have any of those items yet. They did not exist. So I decided to do some nice fun wallpaper. And then the toddler also gets a walk-in closet because it's on the floor plan. What can I say? But there's a dresser. I popped a mirror in there and then also did the little hanging clothes and just did the kids version in different swatches. Some nice colorful ones to make it fun. And then I put this fun little pink rug in there too. Now, this room is yet another bedroom, and I was thinking this could be more of like a teen style room. I wanted to use those nightstands because they match the bed, but then it wouldn't let me put anything on them. So we switched up for some different nightstands, then put the lamps on them again. Then moving on to the nice little wardrobe and a bench for the end of the bed. Just because we're fancy and there's a lot of room, so why not? I tried this rug and then hated it and then decided to go with that rug instead. So, here we are. I put the big mirror into the little closet area and then over here decided to pop a little desk since there was room for it, as well as pop a plant in the corner. This is where I realized that I needed wallpaper and I wanted to do something fancy because at this point I was getting a little built out. I didn't want to put anything on the walls. So I decided that wallpaper would be a good mix. And then in this room, since it's like tween or teen, I put kind of a mix of the adult clothes and the kids' clothes within it. They're all still functional no matter what. I sized up that runner to kind of make it take up that entire very long closet that they have. And then moved out to put some things into the hallway and this area out here because I kind of just neglected it when we moved upstairs. I just pretended it didn't exist and did all of the bedrooms first and then moved on. I popped that little art piece up there as well and then started making a little seating area up here. I went with that couch and then deleted it because I didn't think it looked cozy and cute. So I switched it up, put the little moon lamp up there, and then also popped a little rug on the floor with a coffee table. In that corner, I put a little stereo. Your Sims have a little room there to dance, and put some pictures up to make it nice and cute with a little flower as well. So that is almost the whole build. And then I realized I hated the steps. So we're back outside. That's the whole inside done, though. So we moved back outside. I switched the steps. In the floor plan picture, there was no railing, so your Sims get to just suffer. And then I did the lazy landscaping outside where I just sized up these flowers because it was the last thing that I did and I didn't want to be doing it anymore. But also I felt like a simple landscaping would also look good with this house. So I popped some shrubs around the front of it just to kind of make it look finished off. Put some bushes on those corners, some nice big ones in those gaps to fill it up. And then that is the entire build. So thank you for watching. If you enjoyed, don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you all in the next video.